Everywhere in sight, everybody's got a part to play. I learned So I move more smart today. The words can make you target prey. Can stop or delay what your heart would say. Wars in Wall Street, all the crime. I'm watching this world and all the time. Knowing our freedom's on the line. The show's another reason we on the grind. I mean, look at all the signs. Mayan prophets saw this time. When truth is protected by ruthless, aggressive bodyguard of lies. So I spit and let in the dark block global apartheid. Brought to you in part by capitalistic, cannibalistic, creating chaos. They tell you they fix it. Campaign promise, later they switch it. Burnt buildings, claim terrorists did it. Making fiends from crack to caffeine. Unleash the virus, force vaccines. Divide and conquer nations. Brush by wars, keep armies basing. Sterilization for population. And Monsanto plots for depopulation.
while I did that about maybe 10 years ago, I didn't know much about GMOs then. I thought they were just another variety of food. But now looking back, I realized that while the general population was getting an ever-increasing amount of exposure to GMOs, because I was organic, I wasn't. And I have stunned my entire medical team. In fact, it took them over 7 years, the insurance company, just to agree to remove the port from my chest that they gave me chemo in, because they were so sure it was going to come back and that they were going to have to treat me again. And I'm telling you that it makes a difference every little bit. And you know, when you're sick, I don't care what kind of illness you have a compromised immune system. And you cannot have your immune system working on getting a bunch of crap and chemicals out of your body when your immune system needs to focus on getting you healthy. And I'm telling you that it does matter. Every little bit matters. And while my medical team just touts me around like I'm some kind of miracle that they did, I know that it's because of all the effort that I did in converting my diet to completely organic, eliminating all chemicals and toxins out of my house, and being strict about it. And it has been now over 10 years. And thank you. And one of my passions is speaking about GMOs to cancer groups, whether it's the Relay for Life, support groups, or other large events. I've been to Detroit, Carmano's Cancer Center, and this is important. And the people who listen to me, they beat the odds. They do not let the statistics control their fate, and they are surviving too. Women who've had recurrence after recurrence who really were programmed to die. Once they stopped and got off of all these GMOs and pesticides and everything else, there have been amazing healings. And I'll tell you right now that you could have the best doctors in the world, the perfect targeted chemotherapy, everything else, you know, but unless we can heal, none of that matters. And how can we heal? By eating GMOs that stimulate tumors, and that is proven, and that cause all sorts of other birth defects, allergies. I mean, you heard people talk before me. The list goes on, and I cannot encourage you enough to get people on organics. We speak with our dollars, and if we're going to stop Monsanto, we're going to do it by the food choices that we make and the things that we put in that shopping cart every day. And I know we can do this. This is important. I want my grandkids alive, and I want them having kids one day. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. Thank you. One last thing. One last item to support Barbara Boxer in the national GMO labeling. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to be the last one here, and then we'll go to base camp and other people will be able to talk and have some water and some food. So, some of you have heard this before in my Occupy speeches, that the reason that I got involved in Occupy actually had a lot to do with why we're here today. About 2003, I got an intestinal infection. The doctors weren't quite sure. They're diverticulitis, this, that, the other, IBS. And they did a surgery, which they messed up and cut apart my pancreas and my lungs. They're bound together by scar tissue now. I spent close to a year in bed, and we had tried all kinds of different diets. No lactose, high fiber, low fiber, high protein, you name it, we went through it. The doctors were having a lot of trouble and finally just decided it's irritable bowel disease, which is kind of a catch-all for any lower intestinal problem. I got into Occupy because a couple of years ago the state cut my benefits, and we had to start paying our insurance company for extra premiums for all these treatments. And of course that money was going straight to the HMO that made a $6 billion, a non-profit HMO, Kaiser, that made a $6 billion profit over the previous 2 years. They didn't need it. My daughter here and my son, we were down to like just rice and bread at the end of the month. We were eating all the cheap food, right? Because that's all we could afford. Well, last fall, my son came down with IBD. The same symptoms, cramping, pain, diarrhea 5-6 times a day, throwing up every time you eat, and I'm sorry if that's gross, but that's our life. Couldn't get out of bed half the time. We had already gone through everything with me, so what we did was, after learning from Occupy about the GMOs and about the organic foods and the pesticides and everything, we went and pretty much entirely organic. We don't buy anything with any corn products in it, since so much of it is messed up now, like 85% is GMO. So no high fructose corn syrup, no cornstarch, no nothing. It makes our trips to the grocery store very difficult because you can hardly buy anything. But on the bright side, my son's doing a lot better, and his stomach problems have almost completely gone away. What I've got left... And what I've got left is mainly the surgical issues. We'll see if they ever get there. But I'm glad my son is doing better, and I'm glad that I'm relatively well enough to get out here and be with all you guys. And we're going to make a difference. We are going to change the paradigm. There are 2 million people marching worldwide today. And so our message is definitely getting there. Monsanto is definitely worried. They've had people coming out and trying to claim marches are canceled and all kinds of things. But we're still here and we're not going away. So thank you very much. I think we've been heard. If we can get yourselves together and we'll head back up that way and we'll do a little more teach-in and have some organic food and some clean water and plan our next moves. Thank you everyone for coming out. We appreciate it.